Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well as always, and I'm back with another deck guide video, and this time the featured clan is gonna be Shadow Paladin, and of course, all of the latest cut from this deck list is gonna be from the latest set, which is set 8, and the featured card will be Chromejailer Dragon, and believe it or not, that is a Gold Paladin card, but the special thing is you can play that unit in your Shadow Paladin deck, so that's really cool. And in fact, most of the cards in this list that I'm going to show you guys later on are from Gold Paladin, but all of them can be played in Shadow Paladin, so that's really cool. And you guys have been requesting for a Chromejailer deck video, so I'm bringing it to you guys, and I hope you guys really enjoy this video as always. And let's take a look at the deck list. Okay, so here's the list. As you can see, we have a total of 18 Gold Paladin cards in this deck list, so almost half of this deck is from the Gold Paladin side, but the really cool thing is you can play them in your Shadow deck. And as you can see, this is a Spectral Duke with Chromejailer deck, and our starter is going to be obviously the Spectral Duke starter, which is the Grade 0 Votemer. And the good thing is there is a rework on this effect, because last time you can't really move this to the rear guard, even if you ride the Grade 1 Votemer. But now, if you ride the Grade 1 Votemer and you search for the top 7 card and you didn't get anything, you can move this to the rear guard. And that's really good because of this new skill. You don't really need to call another extra Grade 1 to retire when you ride your Grade 2 Votemer into your Grade 1 Votemer. So that's really good. And let's start with the Grade 1s. So Grade 1s, we got 4 PGs. And next up, we have 2 Drop Draw. We got 3 Charons. And we got 4 Grade 1 Votemer. And our Grade 1, most of them have no effect beside your Grade 1 Votemer and your Drop Draw. So there's really not much explanation to do there. The Drop Draw is good because you can use the effect. And when you use the effect, since it's already in rest position, you can't really boost anymore. And you can actually retire this using your Chromejailer or even Spectral Duke Dragon effect. So next up, we have 4 Nimane. And this is going to be your key card. One of your key card. And this is super important, and I highly recommend to play 4. 3 is fine, but 4 is way better, so do make sure you want to play 4 of her. And next we have 2 Curse Lancer. You just want 2 is good enough because there's not much Counter Blast in this deck compared to a regular Phantom Blaster Overlord deck. And also we run 3 Blaster Dark Spirit. This is good because there is way for you to Superior Core in this deck. Firstly, you have your Grade 3 Dark Mage, and skill is when you own place on the Rearguard Circle or in the Vanguard Circle, you can look at the top card of your deck and Superior Core it to any of your Rearguard Circle, so that's really good. And of course, the another way for the Superior is using Chromejailer skill, which I will mention later on. And of course, we have 4 Grade 2 Votemers. And for your Grade 3, like I said, you got 4 Dark Mage, you run 4 Spectral Duke Dragon, you run 1 Chocolate Tackle, and of course, you run 4 Chromejailer Dragon, and the skill is Limit Break 4. You can retire 2 of your rear guard, and this unit gains 10,000 power and an extra crit, so that's really good. And of course, the last skill to me is the better one, which is Persona Blast. You discard a copy of itself from your hand to the drop zone, and you can check the top 4 cards and Superior Core 2 to the rear guard circle. And this is another way for you to Superior Core your Blaster Dark Spirit if you really need to. So how this deck works in general is pretty simple. You obviously want to get all of your Votemer chain right off. You want to write your Grade 1 Votemer, your Grade 2 Votemer, and your first right, Grade 3 will be your Spectral Duke Dragon. So most of the time you will not be running Chromejailer Dragon, even though this is a Chromejailer deck. But the time where you write Chromejailer Dragon is when you run out of Counter Blast, because Chromejailer Dragon, as you notice, both skills have no Counter Blast requirements. And the best moment to write Chromejailer is when you are at 5 damage and you have already used 4 Counter Blast. That means you only left 1 Counter Blast, and that is where you Persona Blast for free, and you search for your Blaster Dark Spirit and Superior Core and use your Blaster Dark Spirit skill to retire your opponent Interceptor, which is their Grade 2, and try to finish the game off there. And yeah, as you can see, the trigger, we actually play 9 crits, no draw, and 4 heal. And I feel like 9 crits in this deck list is really good because you don't let card draw. You have your Nimane to draw cards, you have your Votemer to give you value on rear guards, and you have your Dark Mage to let you Superior Core 3 cards. So there's a lot of value in this deck in my opinion, so you don't really need to run draw. And crits work super well with your Spectral Duke Dragon because the skill is Limit Break 4. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, after the battle you can Counter Blast 2, retire 2 rear guards, and you can stand this unit, and the Twin Drive become a drive check instead. And this is really good because normally you don't want to play crits in a restander deck because they have requirements like For example, they need to hit or something like this, like the end, but this doesn't need to hit. You can stand this unit whether you hit or didn't hit, so that's the good thing. So why I say crit is really good in Spectral Duke is because if your opponent's at 4, you check a critical trigger, he have a PG, but you can stand, but when you stand, this unit already have 2 critical because you check a critical trigger, and you can swing into their Vanguard again, and if they don't have another PG, and that is game, and this is why you run crits if you are playing a Spectral Duke deck. But since this is Spectral Duke and Chromejailer, it still worked pretty well, so 9 crit is really good, and I guess this is enough talking, and yeah, let's hit into some gameplay. Okay, look like our first opponent is gonna be Kaigero. I think that's Kaigero, I'm not too sure, we're gonna find out later on. And let's see what we get in our starting hand. Obviously, you want to keep your Grade 1 Votomer. You just want to keep all your Votomers, including your Spectral Duke Dragon in general. And this is a really good hand if we can get Spectral Duke Dragon using our Grade 1 Votomer. So I actually want to full keep this hand. If I mulligan, I'll mulligan just 1 card. And I don't see the point doing that, so I'm just going to full keep. So the card you want to try to get and try to keep is your Votomer, like I say, and also you want to try to get your Nimane and your PG. It's important to keep your PG in your hand because you don't run draw triggers, so the way you join to your PG is by top decking every turn, and the odds of that happening is quite low, so try to keep your PG if you can, but if you don't have your Grade 1 Votomer, you should mulligan the PG away since you do not want to write that, right? Okay, so look like our opponent write his PG, so that's pretty good. And we draw 2 huge triggers, so that kind of sucked, but it's alright. So we're gonna write our Grade 1 Votomer and hope to fish a Spectral Duke Dragon. Looking at our top 7 card, and we did not get anything. Wow, that's pretty unfortunate. But at least I get to move my starter to the rearguard circle, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put it behind my Vanguard. And here, since I keep my drop draw, I'm just gonna use the skill and try to fish into my Grade 3 that I actually want to write. So even if you miss your Spectral Duke Dragon, writing Chromejailer as your first Vanguard is not as bad as writing your Dark Mage, because that is just a 9k vanilla after the effect have been used up. So I'm just gonna push damage here. And no critical, that's alright. We play 9 crit, so you can expect yourself to check crit multiple times. And also we have Nimane, so we still have ways to draw into our Grade 3. Because I really do not want to write my Dark Mage, even though I have a Grade 3 in my hand. Oh, okay, he write Tejas, but the good thing is, in a JP server, Tejas is already nerfed to a rearguard effect instead of a Vanguard and rearguard effect, so he can't attack my back row, so that's good. And because he write Tejas, this tells me that he don't have any other Grade 2 in his hand. Otherwise, he will write another Grade 2 and call Tejas at the left side and hit my back row. So this tells me a lot about his hand, and he starts a PG as well, so he might have a Grade 3 hand. Okay, a wasted crit there, no surprise there, because you don't play draw, so you can't expect to take full advantage of your damage trigger beside the trigger power. So we're gonna write our Grade 2 Votomer, and we're gonna retire our starter because that is the weakest unit on our board. And let's see what we get here. Oh, a Nimane and a Grade 2! Couldn't ask for a better one, man. That's so good. Okay, so I'm gonna call my Grade 2 here, and my Nimane here. And I'm gonna discard my Dark Mage because I do not want to write that as my Grade 3. And I want to keep my Grade 2 because not my Grade 2, I want to keep my Grade 1 because I want to call a full board. So I can push for as much damage as I can. So I'm gonna drop my Dark Mage here. And let's see whether we can get a Grade 3 or not. Okay, we got a Grade 3, 2 Grade 3 in fact. So looking pretty good so far. And here we can potentially push him to 5 if you check a critical trigger. So when you're playing a deck with a lot of critical trigger like this one, you want to make a perfect column in your Vanguard column. Because most of the time when you're playing draw, you want to make perfect column on your rearguard. But if you're playing crit, you should do it on your Vanguard. So I'm hoping he don't get a trigger here because this is an important check for him. Okay, no trigger, so even if he get a trigger, we can get a crit and push him to 5. But since he got PG, he's going to activate his PG instead. Okay, no trigger, that's good. So he either is going to fall or trigger his PG here. Okay, a wasted heal. That's our third heal to the drain, but it's all good because we are in a pretty good position. 1 to 4 and our board is full. So we couldn't ask for more, to be honest. Okay, let's see what great tree is he gonna ride. Is it gonna be Blockage, Waterfall, Dragoning Overlord, or DN? Ooh, an alternate art Dragoning Overlord. That's the first time I'm seeing it in action, so that's pretty cool. So that is a promo where you can actually exchange in the tournament rewards. Okay, he got a Dragoning Overlord on his rearguard as well. Pretty good for him, pretty good for him. And that's all he's gonna do. So this tells me that his hand have 100% got DN. Otherwise, he will have called more units to the rearguard. And of course, the weakness for this deck is against 30k base because most of the time you want to ride your Spectral Duke Dragon as your first Vanguard and you want to swing your Vanguard to their Vanguard without boost first and then you can stand and then hit with boost. But if you're facing off against the 30k base, you can't really do that. And the misplay I feel he did here is that he should call his booster behind his Dragoning Overlord on his rearguard because now he will need a Soul Blast. Instead, if he put it behind his Overlord on the rearguard, he don't even need to use this skill. But it's all up to him, I guess. It's a good pairing when he rides his DN, so I guess alright. And check the heal, that's really good for him. And also 1 Chrome into the damage zone, so we only left 2 in our deck. So even though if we draw a Chrome, which is a trigger, it's still pretty good since we can Persona Blast. Okay, Curse Lancer. As you notice, our combos is not really that much use up, that's why you only run 2. So here comes Chromejailer Dragon. And you can only get this animation if you are playing in Shadow. Because I'm pretty sure when I play this in Gold Paladin, there's no animation. So I'm gonna use my main here. And discard my Great Tree. And hope that I don't draw any other Great Tree. Unless it's Chromejailer, then I'll take it. Okay, Chromejailer. So I'm not gonna use Chromejailer right now. Because there's really no point to do so. So I only left 1 heal. So I don't really want to play around my heal. So I'm gonna swing with my main first and hope that he don't get a trigger here. Okay, that's perfect. So if you check a crit, it's gonna be really good because it's gonna trigger his PG and then our Curse Lancer can hit his Vanguard. Otherwise, if you go to fight, our Curse Lancer can't touch anything. But let's see, we left 4 crits, so whether we want to play safe or not. Let's see. I'm really not really that desperate to counter charge, so I'm gonna go for a riskier approach here. Okay, we check crit, that's perfect. And give the power to Curse Lancer. Okay, so now we can unfleet using our Curse Lancer. So this turn worked out pretty well for us. And of course, if you're a Chromejailer Vanguard, you don't really care about 13k base unless you are a Spectral Duke Vanguard. Looking pretty good, and we still have 3 more Blaster Dark Spirit, so we can rely on him if we need to, but 1 is in the bottom of our deck since we did Twin Drive it, so technically only 2. But even if you didn't get your spirits, you can still try to get Great 2s because Great 2s is still good since it is your another way to defend yourself. Okay, let's see what's he gonna do. I'm pretty sure he has DN in his hand. Because I'm gonna predict his hand is gonna have 2 PG, 1 DN, and 1 other Great 3 maybe. I'm just hoping don't check the heal. That's all I'm gonna ask for. Okay, good, no heal. Perfect. Okay, I wasted crit there because he can use his ammo skill to make a perfect 23 column, so my trigger doesn't really matter there. But it's all good because if he's staying at 5, I don't really need to rely on trigger. So I'm hoping and praying that he don't check heal. So please do not do that. And how many heal he left? Let's see. He left 2 more heal, but he might draw into it in his hand, so. Okay, a draw, that's fine. I don't really care about your draw. As long as it's not a heal, I'm happy. And of course, once the opponent is at 5, there's no reason to use Chromejailer Limit Break. And there's another spirit into the damage zone. So we technically only left 1. Okay, we get our Great 2. So we can, let's see. We don't even need to use Chromejailer effect, to be honest. Because let's see here, we left. Yeah, the odds of us getting a spirit is pretty low. So I can call 2 Great 2 and then try to Persona Blast next turn. I think that's a better idea. Because if I Persona Blast and I don't get any Great 2s, then I need to overcall and I don't really want to do that. So I'm gonna save my Chromejailer. Because he's not gonna win on his next turn since I got 2 Interceptor and he have no more Counter Blast. Wait, unless he got Blockage. Oh my god, if you have Blockage, I'm gonna get punished. I just realized that. I'm pretty sure he got a second PG, without a doubt. Okay, a crit. So our first two cards have no grade 2. So maybe saving the Persona Blast is a good play, but again, if you have blockage, we are screwed. And he only have 1 PG, and that's game. We don't even need to use Chromejailer skill and we win the first game. So that's pretty good. But I did explain to you guys in depth when you should do certain stuff and use certain effect as well. And first game go to us, so that's pretty good. And since we are just starting this video off, I do want to play another game. So let's move on to the next game. Okay, look like our second opponent is gonna be Narukami. So Narukami is pretty similar to Kaido, so let's find out how this deck will face off against it. And this is perfect hand. I will just mulligan these two away because like I said, you want to try to get your PG and your main. PG is the most important thing. And we did not get it, but it's all good. And also I forgot to mention, do try to keep an extra grade 1 beside your Votemer that you're gonna write, because if you actually did search something for the top 7 card, you can't call your starter to the rear guard, and you need an extra rear guard to use your grade 2 Votemer skill. So he's playing a Dangri deck, so that's pretty interesting, and we did join to our PG, so that's pretty good. And let's see whether we're gonna get anything from our top 7 card. I'd rather not, to be honest. Unless it's a grade 2. Okay, a grade 3, not something I want. And I'm gonna call one grade 1 here. And that should be it. Good that we didn't check a crit, because if we check a crit, he can use his Death Sider skill to retire our unit in our back row. And you do not want that. So do take note that if you're playing off against deck that can retire your back row, you should try to call more than 1 rear guards so that you can use your grade 2 Votemer skill successfully. Okay, Thunderstorm Dragon. And a perfect 90k column, that's pretty good for him. Okay, 1 PG at the bottom of the deck, so that's good. No trigger, that's fine. So now let's see what we're gonna get for our Votemer skill here. I would love to get the main here because I have like 4 grade 3 and I want to drop my grade 3s. Okay, we got Chromejailer and a grade 1, so let's see, let's gonna call it like this. I'm gonna call my booster behind my Vanguard because I play crit. And if you play crit, you want to swing your Vanguard last. Otherwise, if you check a crit and you put your booster at your left column, and if you get a defensive trigger, you can't really push for the extra third damage. And his hand size is only 3, so I'm hoping that he don't check any draw. Because if he don't check any draw, we are in pretty good control of the game so far. And no trigger, that's good. Whether we check crit or not doesn't really matter at this point. No trigger, that's alright. And here I'm hoping that he keep my grade 3 alive so that I can retire my grade 3 instead of my grade 1, since I need boosters at the moment, as my whole hand is attackers. And here comes Dangri, and he's gonna bind 3 cards here. And he got his Cross Ride, which is Dangri Unlimited. So is he gonna get his Dangri Unlimited skill? Okay, he's gonna retire my back row. So okay, wait, he's not. So he's going super aggressive this turn. Okay, that's interesting. And he bind a PG, that means he can get a PG using his starter skill as well. But the thing is, what is his last card in his hand? Okay, he chooses a starter, so I'm hoping that the last card in his hand is not his Cross Ride. I'm really surprised to see he burned my Blaster Dark Spirit. Because now if I get a trigger and he don't get a trigger, he can't attack anything, but he did get a trigger, so that's good for him. And a heal, that's a pretty good trigger for him as well. It would be nice if we can check a heal as well. Okay, no heal, and our only two Curse Lancer is gone, which is okay. No trigger, that's pretty unfortunate. Really hoping for a heal trigger there, not gonna lie. And like I said, still hoping to get a main using my Votemer skill. Oh, more grade 3 in our hand, that's not looking good. Okay, let's see what we get here. Okay, the main, finally. And a grade 3. I'm pretty sure I don't have much trigger in my deck. And I'm gonna draw a Spectral Duke Dragon because you don't really need an extra copy in your hand. I do need booster, so can I get that please? Thank you. Okay, so here is pretty interesting. Because we can go for limit break play if you want to, but it's gonna be tough. Because, for example, if he have no PG in his hand, we can potentially win on this turn since we can limit break. And if we check critical trigger, we can push 4 damage with our Vanguard, and this is why crit is so good in this deck. So I'm gonna take a look at my trigger. So I left 6 trigger, 3 heal, 3 crit. So I'm gonna call my Charon here. Okay, you know what? Let's see. I'm gonna call my Dark Mage and see what it gave me. Ah, a critical trigger, that's so bad. That is the worst one I can get. Okay, I guess I'm retiring both of my grade 3 behind my columns. You know what? I can keep my grade 2 and retire my grade 3 in my front column. I think that's a better idea. And let's see, do I value my 11k attacker or 12k attacker? And I don't have much time, so I'm just gonna use my 12k attacker here. We need to pray that we get double trigger, otherwise this play is not gonna work out well. And he get a trigger, that's so good for him. That's not fair. And I think we're gonna lose this game. I think we're gonna lose this game. Heal trigger, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Sadly, we can't limit break, but I wouldn't even want to limit break in the first place because he get a defensive trigger. Double draw, wow, this guy is so good at checking triggers. But that is still a chance because he can draw all he wants, but how many PG does he have in his hand? That is the real question because he only have one so far, and I hope he don't have his cross right, so let's find out. Does he have his Dungaree Unlimited? He do not have, but he choose to write his Vermilion instead. So he's going super aggressive here, and he wants value, so he's going for his Vermilion instead. And I'm pretty sure he don't play the Blood, so he's gonna stay at 11k, unless he write Dungaree Unlimited again. And the good thing about Vermilion right now is he can swing with his Rearguard first and then his Vermilion because I have no grade 2 in the front row. And I'm hoping that I get a trigger here, otherwise I'm gonna drop PG, and if I do that, I think I'm gonna lose the game. Okay, no trigger, but we still have like 2 heal triggers in our deck if I remember correctly. Yup. A trigger here will be good as well. No trigger. Yikes. But at least the good thing is he can't check any more heal. Okay, that's good. So now if we check a crit, and if he don't have 2 PG in his hand, we win the game. And do take note that his hand is only 2 cards, so unless it's exact PG, we should win the game if we check a critical trigger. A heal, that's alright. At least it's not crit because we want crit right now. So let's see, actually we don't even need a crit. We just need 1 trigger because he only got 1 grade 2. So let's see. I do want to call this here. And can I get a grade 1? I did, that's pretty good. So here we just go into battle phase like this. So the only punish if we attack with our main column first, if we get a trigger, then we need to get 2 trigger to hit through his Vanguard twice. But we left 2 crits. You know, I'm gonna play it safe and hope that he don't get a trigger here. Please. Come on. Really? Did he just triple draw damage check in a row? That's not fair. We get a crit, that's good. That's really good. But he got his PG though. That means we need to check another trigger in our next drive check. It's just a drive check, it's not twin drive. Remember that. Okay, we did not draw a trigger, that's good, that's good. Can we get our trigger here? No trigger. Ah, so close. So close. But we still got one more heal, so if we can get lucky, we can 6 damage heal. Damn, his draw trigger saved him. If he don't get a draw trigger there, he would have lost the game. If I just swing my Vanguard first, I would have won the game, I believe. But because I only left 2 crits, I don't really want to rely on crits. Oh boy. We have lost the game because we need 2 heal instead of 1 now. And we only have 1 heal left. Alright, GG. We're not gonna win this game. And it's all good. We get a heal. What a waste, man. What a waste. This Vanguard can still attack my Vanguard, and I'm just gonna concede here because I do not want to waste any more time. So close game there, we almost won. And we are currently at close to 30-minute mark, so I can play one more game. So let's move on to the third match. Okay, look like our last opponent is gonna be Aqua Force. And again, Aqua Force have 13k base, so all 3 opponents have 13k base potential, and that is obviously not the best matchup. And this hand is actually pretty good. I'm just gonna mulligan like this and try to get a grade 2 Voldemort. We did not get it, but we still can check top 7 card for it, so I'm gonna hope that I get it. Otherwise, I'm gonna get punished for keeping cards that I should not. Because I'm kind of greedy, like I say, you want to keep your PG and your main, and that's what I'm doing right now. And he played this grade 1 horse, which I respect because most people don't, and I think they should. Okay, no grade 2 Voldemort yet, so let's hope we can get it using our starter skill. Oh my god, we did not get it! Wow, I think we got punished. We got punished. Oh well, that normally don't happen because the odds of that is pretty low because you're looking at like almost 10 cards because you got 2 extra draw and 7 checks. And you did not get your grade 2 you wanted, so it's alright. And I guess I'm just gonna attack like this because I want to preserve my boosters against Aqua Force since they can retire your back row once they go into their grade 3 Maelstrom, and of course they need to have 4 damage to retire your back row. But I remember they have cards like Valerie. It's a grade 2 skill 4th attack. If you attack hit, you can burn a rear guard as well. So it's pretty important to know what your opponent clan have access to. And it's gonna write Basil, that's pretty good. At least it is an 8k base Vanguard. Okay, let's see what he's gonna get with his starter skill. And it's gonna be a Benedict. Okay, interesting to see he play Benedict. Because it's either you run Benedict or Diamantis. You can't really run both in my opinion. You can run one Diamantis, not one, you can run one Benedict and 4 Diamantis, that works as well. But the good thing is his grade 3 that he gotten using his starter effect is a heal, and that's another heal, so there's 2 heal gone. Okay, a crit, not a big deal, but can we top deck our grade 2 Voldemort? That is the real question. Oh, we did! What a top deck! What a top deck! I did not mention that the Voldemort, of all the Voldemort, the grade 1 and grade 2, the most important one you should try to have is the grade 2 because you do not ever want your Spectral Duke Dragon to be a 10k base. So do remember that. So I'm pretty lucky to top deck it. So let's see what we get here. I would love a booster though. Ooh, 2 attackers, that's fine. How do I want to put this? I do want to use my main skill. Actually, you know what? Should I use my main skill now? I'm just going to do it like this. And I guess I can use my main skill since I can flip the Counterblast. And I'm going to drop my Spirit. And Charon will be really good here. Okay, a PG again. And at least we didn't draw a trigger, so that's pretty good. And I'm just going to keep my main on the top side because I do want to utilize the ability to intercept. And since I got 2 more mains, I don't really want to preserve it at the back row. So a crit will be insane here because it will put him to 3. But otherwise, no sugar is all good. Okay, a heal. That's pretty interesting as well. I guess I'll take a heal, why not? We are not in a rush to limit break, so I guess okay. And the good thing about moving my grade 3 to the back row is I can actually retire my grade 3 and simply call 2 more new units. Okay, here comes Milshot and look like he have a proper Vanguard ride because I thought he's gonna ride his Benedict, not gonna lie. Okay, play Diamantis as well. So he run 4 Benedict and Diamantis as well. So that's pretty weird and interesting. Because this is the first time I'm seeing people running Benedict, especially 4. That's a lot in my opinion. Charon. I do want to try to get more boosters because once he go to 4 damage, he's gonna start retiring my back row. And when he does that and go into his 30k base, I can't really touch his Vanguard much anymore. Okay, no trigger. I'm hoping that he get 1 trigger. Otherwise, the odds of him checking a damage trigger is pretty high. And I do not want him to do that. Okay, another PG. Wow, we are getting a lot of PGs in our hand. That's kind of good, but bad at the same time because we don't have a bad card to drop using our main skill. Okay, let's see what Spectral Duke is gonna give us. Like I said, I'm hoping for boosters. Otherwise, our oh Nimain is good because we can drop our Nimain. And I was about to say I don't mind getting a huge trigger because I need rear guards. Since I don't have much stuff to call in my hand. And I'm gonna which one should I use first? I think Nimain skill should be the correct order because I want to see what I got in my hand before I decide what to call. Grade 1 please. Okay, no grade 1, so let's hope we get a grade 1 here. Nice. So how should I put this? Okay, I'm gonna put it behind my Nimain because I want it to be able to intercept. And I'm gonna move this to the back row. This is weird. You know what, I don't really care about his Benedict, so I'm just gonna utilize the ability to intercept at the moment. And try to push as many damage as I can. Because even though if his Benedict is on the board, it's not gonna do too much of a harm to us. And he did get a trigger like I predicted. And now we need to get a trigger, otherwise he's only gonna take 1 damage and that's not good. And we get a crit, that's really good. Double crit, okay. If he have no PG, he just lose the game like this. Does he have his PG? I'm pretty confident he does. Yep, he does, okay. Close one there. If you double crit while you have limit break, that's where your opponent is gonna get wrecked. And I'm gonna attack his this one or this one? I'm gonna attack his Benedict on the right. Okay, kind of wasted double crit there because he has his PG and we only left 3 criticals, so we do need to take note. And I'm hoping that he don't cross right here. And I'm hoping he don't have a self-damager as well because I do not want him to limit break. Okay, a horse. That is really good against 13k base Vanguard, but I'm not. And also, Benedict is super good against Nimain. Specifically Nimain, just Nimain. Okay, doesn't look like he has a self-damager. That's good. So I guess he is gonna put me to 4, which I don't mind because I do want to limit break. And my deck is running low, so I'm hoping that I don't damage check any trigger and I don't draw any trigger, so that I have a higher odds of checking trigger during my twin drive and my drive check if I decide to use my limit break skill. And of course, I also pray that he don't check a heal here, otherwise it's gonna be a perfect heal for him. And he only left 1, so oh my god, he checked a crit, really? Wow, that denies my limit break. That heal is insanely good. Wow, okay, good for him I guess. I guess we can't limit break, so we are just gonna call Nimain and hope that we don't draw into our trigger. Chromejailer, okay. I still got 1 more Chromejailer, so I'm gonna discard my 12k attacker instead of Chromejailer here. Okay, into another PG and a Spirit, so that's pretty good in my opinion. But again, Benedict is really good against Spirit as well. And how many heal do I left? I left one more heal. So do I want to play around heal or should I try to play around crit? You know what, I'm just gonna play around crit. Because if we check crit and you have no more PG, we will just win the game even without using Spectral Duke Dragon skill. And we got more crits than you, so another draw. This guy, seriously man. Triple draw like my second game. But doesn't matter if I check a trigger here, so let's see. Come on. A crit, that's good. And does he have another PG? He does, okay. So luckily he twin drive a critical trigger, otherwise if I check a crit while I can stand, he's gonna be in deep trouble. Okay, it's gonna reach the 40-minute mark soon, so I do want to end this game ASAP. And it's gonna burn my grade 1, which is kind of sad, because I am in need of boosters at the moment. And I don't really want to call my PG as boosters, unless I have no choice. And all my boosters is in my damage zone. 3 of it is in my damage zone, so. Wow, he can actually Benedict. No, he can't. I thought he can Benedict to my Vanguard and then swing to my domain. But he can't do that. But in the real life game, you can. No heal, please, again. If you check heal, we'll be in deep trouble as well. Okay, draw is fine. And he only left 2 PG. And I have a feeling I'm going to check a heal. No, okay, I guess I'm going to draw the heal instead. And it's going to retire my Charon. Okay, it doesn't really matter if we check a crit, because if we check a crit, we wouldn't need any booster behind our Vanguard, so it might be a misplay there. Okay, Curse Lancer, still no sound trigger, that's really good, that's really good. So I'm going to call this, and the odds of me checking trigger is extremely high at the moment right now. So I'm going to call my Chromejailer because I need rear guards to retire. And I'm going to attack like this. And attack with my Chromejailer, and I'm pretty sure, like I say, going to check a crit. And if I check a crit, we are going to be in a great spot. Heal, come on, I need a crit, please. Where should I give the power to, man? How many trigger does my opponent left? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He left 3 triggers. We can play safe or play risky. You know what, let's play risky here. I want to finish him off this turn. Ah, no crit, that sucks. Let's hope we don't check the trigger. Okay, good. Good. Does he have 2 PG? To be honest, I highly doubt so. But I'm just gonna assume he have 1 PG. And we draw our last crit, so that's pretty sad. Okay, he have 1 PG. Does he really have another one? He really using 3 PG. Wow, this guy got all 4 PG in his hand. Not fair, dude. And we have no more triggers in our deck. So not looking too good for us. Even though we can survive, but if he have a bunch of grade 2s, we might not be able to win, especially if he twin drive a huge trigger. Wow, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect all 4 PG in his hand. Oh my god, does he really have 2 grade 2s? Okay, he does. Not looking good here. But if you don't check a heal, we can still win. Okay, if you don't check a heal, we can still win. So we just need to pray that his heal is in his hand. And luckily we can twin drive as well. It's just nice we have 2 cards to twin drive with. Okay, let's see what's he gonna twin drive. The moment of truth here, guys. Okay, no heal, let's go. This should seal the game. Unless it's 6 damage heal, we should win the game. I'm pretty confident we are gonna win the game. And we will just call a PG because we need attackers. And it is our final turn. So let's do it. So we're gonna skip right. Call my Chrome and 2 units. And let's see, is he gonna 6 damage shield? I hope he does not. Moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. Okay, no heal, and that is game 3 going to us. And I guess this concludes the deck guide. And same as always, do make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know how you feel about this deck at the moment. Because to me, there's no point playing a Chromejailer build in Gold Paladin since Aether is way better. And there's nothing much to compete against Aether at the moment. So if you want to play Chromejailer, might as well go into the Shadow Paladin side. And yeah, this should be it. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for next video. Goodbye.